Merry Christmas comes, sorry. I have been sick for a very long amount of time, and I'm getting real sick of it. Anyway, yeah, I don't know why I'm filming these in my kitchen recently, but that's what's happening, so there you go. Let's get into it. I can barely stand up. Also, I did get ready still for this video. I wanted to be very clear to everybody involved that I do in fact get ready for the videos. No fakeness or falseness here, honey. Anyway, also this whole video, to me, when I was editing it last night, feels like a drunk white girl just giving the "just so you guys know, I love you so much" speech. So, just a little disclaimer for you. Hit you with the spirit fingers and everything. What's up, you sexy sons of bitches? Let's fix my necklace. I am having an emotional evening, and I was like, what better way to process this than bring everyone else into my bullshit? So why I wash the dishes. So that's really what's happening. Been loving filming in my kitchen recently. That's cool. I don't know if it's gonna focus though. Come on, focus up. My hair's getting quite long, which is cool. I don't even know where I'm gonna take this, but I'm just gonna talk. So I have made the decision to move away from the town I'm living at right now, and it's interesting because this is gonna be a heavier video, by the way. Like, ooh, girl, stay tuned. I'm about to just pour my little fucking heart out. Who knows if it'll make the internet or whatever. Also, look at my cute little scrub mommy Frankenstein. Oh, isn't it cute? And wait, hold on. Also, I have such a thing for Frankenstein. Like, I'm so obsessed with the whole story of it all. I haven't seen the Jacob Elordi one yet, but I really want to watch it. Anyway, look at them. Aren't they serving cunt? I know. But I have been, it's really hard when you get a certain age and you kind of have to swallow the pill of life that is how fragile and delicate the dance is and how much of it is taken for granted on the day-to-day. And when I say that, I don't say this to scare anybody or guilt trip anybody, because I think it's a very hard concept to keep in mind when you're really in the thick of it in this life and when you're really in a lot of pain and sorrow. And obviously I think the last thing anyone really wants to fucking hear is how beautiful it is. And again, this is just me speaking from my own experience, but the amount of grief that is experienced on the day-to-day, at least for me, is really hard because I always have that little melancholy feeling creeping up in the back of my throat about how fucking short it is. And not to give you an existential crisis, because I'm coming down from one of those. It's worse than a Molly come down. I've never done Molly, but I have done Coke, and the cocaine come down, guys. Holy fuck. But anyway, I don't know if I should be talking about this. This is taking a turn. Call me Charlie XCX or whatever, but the come down of melancholy is so difficult, and where am I trying to take this? I'm wondering to myself as I clean out my frying pan. I guess it's the grief of letting go. I have been holding on so tightly to life. Like, I'm the type that just grips it by the balls and I'm like, no, it needs to go my way, god damn it. And a lot of the time my way is not the way that I anticipated things turning out. And I think you have an idea in your 20s and as a teenager that you're invincible and that nothing is ever going to happen to you and nothing's going to touch you, and then things start touching you, and not in a sexy way. Ew, I'm touching a wet cashew and I don't like it. And I'm just holding on to the reins so tight, hoping that I can just make every right move and make every right decision and handle every single thing perfectly and never have to say goodbye and never have to experience the pain and sorrows of the experience, of the human experience, and that I'm only ever going to experience the highs, and I can turn things into a positive thing and like, no, it's okay, like it's all okay. It's, you know, don't smile because, or don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened, like that sort of thing. And it's just like, and then you have to come to terms with how delicate you are as an individual and how delicate everyone else is as well. And saying goodbye to the people and the connections that I've made in this town that I've been living in over the past year it sounds silly, but it's the hardest thing that I've ever done, I think, so far. And I know that I've experienced loss, and I've experienced death, and I've experienced goodbyes, and man, they just never get any easier, ever. And I'm just no good at closing chapters, is really what it is. Really good at opening them. I get really excited. But, man, for every level of excitement that I feel in this experience, I feel the sorrow and the grief just as hard, if not harder. And it's difficult. And I don't need to mansplain the human experience to you because I know you're in it with me. That's why I'm making this video. I am ecstatic. And this sounds silly because I know that our world right now is really sick and really sad. And there's a lot of really fucked up shit going on. There always has been, but I'm ecstatic for the world that we live in, for the amount of growth that we are doing as a humanity and as a collective. And I'm also in my feels right now. I know, girl, I'm gonna edit this back and be like, bitch, get a grip. Bitch, get a grip. But I'm ecstatic to keep growing. And I'm ecstatic to even be a tiny piece of everything. And that being said, I'm also just so sad because I'm thinking about my life and the way that it might pan out. The reason that I'm leaving this town that I'm in right now is because I am deciding that I want to take a different path. And that path is one that I know that I've always wanted to take since I was a kid. I just haven't really had the balls to do it. And then someone in my life died. And nothing will shape you up more than death. And nothing will make you think about things more than death. And I guess, honestly, thank God for that in some weird way because, you know, the grief is where my self-love has come into play. And it's not the bullshit self-love that everyone's always talking to you about. It's like the real, genuine, raw self-love because I've had to hold on to myself through the deepest depths of despair and sorrow. And I've also gotten the privilege to watch myself walk out the other side bloomed in a different way. And it is just sort of like a thing. Life is watching yourself be like a fucking flower, like a fragile little flower, like watching your petals fall off over and over again and then blooming new ones. And it's so fascinating and it's so difficult and it's just, you know, it's life. But anyway, what I was saying is like even that amount of grief can't really touch the amount of grief that I'm feeling right now because I'm also saying goodbye to a life that I really thought was gonna, I had so many expectations and I really thought thought I'd be around for longer. You know, I thought I'd be sticking around here for longer, and I made such good friends, and it's the hardest decision ever to leave. And yet I know exactly why I'm making the decision, and I'm making the decision for myself, which is empowering and it feels good, and I hope it pays off. It will pay off. I mean, I might be a confident, cocky little bitch, but I'm like, no, it's gonna pay off. I'll make sure of it. But it's funny because the decisions that you make for yourself are often the ones that hurt the most, even though they're the ones that are the most rewarding. It's a really weird phenomena, I guess. Phenomena. Y'all fuck with that Muppets or what? But I don't know. I just... The grief of letting go of who you used to be and grieving the person that you used to be, and also grieving the life that you had envisioned for yourself, is hard. And grieving your childhood and your adolescence when everything made a lot more sense when you were a kid. And I guess it's just like this never-ending grief cycle. And I know it's just like so doomsday, like, Jesus Christ, pack it up, suckfest. But it is. But that also means that the never-ending grief cycle of life is also the never-ending cycle of beauty and change and growth and flow. And it's so interesting because I would have never guessed how beautiful it could turn out for me. I'm grateful. I am. But also, I can be grateful and still be so sad. Two can exist at the same time. And I think both should exist. And I don't want to stifle one or the other because both are here for such a beautiful purpose in making me who I am. And I'm just having a hard time letting go, man. You know, I just am holding on so tightly to something that I just know is slipping through my fingers. Cue that ABBA song. No, please don't. But I think all of us do that in some way, shape, or form. It's not fun knowing that things are coming to an end. But it's really fun, you know, being brave enough to take the next step, too. So, like I said, you know, 6'7". Oh my god, my brother showed me that dumbass 6'7" video. I forgot that I was supposed to be washing the dishes. I was just staring off into the distance. Oh my god, please. Let me have my Disney character moment, the fuck? But also, I know that it's a stupid, dumbass cliche, and I hate that when people say it, like, it makes me angry, because I hate that it's true, is people being like, if you just let go and relax into it and accept it, it gets a whole lot better. And I hate that that's the case, and I know that's the case because it's been proved to me in my own experience, is acceptance and letting go and surrender does not make you weak, or it doesn't make you anything. It makes you actually very brave. I think the bravest thing a person can do is let go, because it's really fucking hard, and it brings up a lot of fucking pain, and that's okay. You know, pain is needed, pain is necessary in this experience, otherwise no one would ever get anywhere. But it, like I said, that doesn't make it any less easy. And I just, leaving and walking away from something that I thought was going to turn out so differently, it's hard. And I know that this is hard on everybody. And I think it can get really lonely in the human experience sometimes, because we all are walking our own path, and it's a very, very niche path. Dare I say, you're the only one that walks yours. And that can feel really lonely sometimes, and that can feel really isolating sometimes. And the good news is like, yeah, okay, maybe people will never fully understand you and your journey. But a lot of the time, A, I think people are a lot more understanding than we give them credit for, and B, you're not alone.
you're in company. You might be on a solo journey, but you're certainly walking amongst other people as well and connecting with others as well. And again, it's like different than being alone. It's like you're being alone together is kind of how I chalk the human experience up. And because I've never felt less alone in my life, even though, again, no one knows my exact situation, my exact feelings, my exact anything, and maybe no one ever will. And accepting that also is, in of itself, is a hard pill to swallow. But allowing people to try is beautiful, and also realizing that I'm like, I'm walking, amongst so many others, and that is so incredibly beautiful. And I think about just how delicately people have been placed in my life at certain times that just feels too damn good to be a coincidence. Maybe it is, but man, with the way things are panning out for me, at least specifically, it's kind of hard to believe in coincidences anymore. And I don't know, just the bittersweet symphony of it all. And it's cool. And I guess I'm just in awe, I suppose. And like I said, me stepping away from here and leaving all of my friends and people, like on paper, I think people would be like, you dumb bitch, what are you doing? Believe me, I'm saying that to myself as well. I'm freaking out because I'm just like, what are you doing? Why? It's stop. Don't do this. Like, stay. It's safer that way. And maybe that's true, but also, I know I can always come back. I'm lucky enough, like I said, this place is a soft place for me to land. I got so lucky. But also, I really want to do the things that I've always wanted to do since I was a kid. And that is pursuing writing, and that is continuing to do this, and acting, and I don't know where it'll go for me, but I'm lucky enough that I have the resources and wonderful people in my corner that support me in doing these things. And so I'm just like, truly the only person that's ever gotten in my way is me, and I can't do that anymore. I just can't do it. And again, I know this sounds super cliche. I'm like, oh my God, Jesus Christ, pack it up, coming of age movie. But I gotta at least try, dude. I gotta try. For nobody else other than myself. I gotta try, and I gotta let go. And again, when I do let go of certain ideas, or I just loosen the reins ever so slightly, I have horrible control issues, by the way. I always am just quite enamored with the way that things turn out. And I don't know. That doesn't mean I'm not gonna fight a little bit though. I'm gonna take a few swings still. Like, it doesn't matter. I know that fighting does nothing, but like sometimes it's fun. And also, again, I love how people can be so like, oh my God, go with the flow, like just relax and just like whatever, trust and all that hippie shit. Love that. I like to crash out, okay? I also like to freak out, and I also like to have a little bit of a moment when things don't go my way and a tantrum, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that either. Like I said, if I'm having a human experience and this is what's going on, and it's insanity a lot of the time, then I'm gonna fucking be insane with it, and I'm gonna throw a fit or six, because that's also part of experience, and it's really fucking fun. Anyway, I don't know why I made this video. I don't know where I'm going with it. I don't really care. I just wanted to talk. Oh, sue me. And also, I don't know. I hope that you're holding yourself through your grief, whatever grief it is. It looks so different for so many people, and I don't know. I hope that you're wrapping yourself up with your sorrow and just like, I don't know, like fingering it a little bit. I'm so sorry. Anyway, I just hope you're taking your time with your sorrow and sadness, because, bitch, cry a river. Like, how hot of you, how sexy. Love when bitches cry. Because also know that, like, you're gonna be holding on to your sorrow for a little bit, but also that's like, joy's right around the corner. Like, oh, she's so excited. She's so excited to come hang out with you. So, if nothing else, just know that the grief is because you did feel so deeply and you did love so deeply, and also the grief is just another tool in your toolbox, and it's making way for other shit. And that is what's cool about it. Grief is not the enemy. And quite the opposite. Grief is like such a little slut. Ugh, love her. Got some mention. Anyway. Yeah. I tried to have my like soapbox moment for a second. The dishes are all done now, so thanks for passing the time. I love you. Thanks for watching. And that's all. Bye, Gorge. Alright. Whew. I don't know. I don't know, you guys. I don't know. Okay. Okay, bye. Mwah. Bitch! Get a grip. Bitch. Get a grip. Surely one of those has to work.